So you want to get big. You want to maximize your efforts in the gym and your diet to make sure you're gaining as much muscle as possible to get to your goals as quick as possible. You want the Natty secret sauce. So maybe you're willing to do whatever it takes naturally to get there. You don't want to take steroids. You don't want to be enhanced. Maybe you don't want to get big. Maybe you don't want to shorten your life. Whatever the case, you decided to go another route. So what is the best thing you can do to get to your goal as fast as possible? What supplements should you be taking? I made another video covering like multivitamins and just like the basic minerals that you should be taking. And before I get into the actual supplements you should be taking right now, I want to preface this, as I said in the other video, if your sleep and nutrition are not dialed in, this does not matter. First and foremost, you have to have it dialed in. Your training should be dialed in. You should be sleeping at least 7.5 to 8 hours every single night of actual rest, not just time in bed. And your diet should be locked in. You should be eating as much whole foods as possible and trying to hit 1 gram of protein per pound of weight. And ideally your weight should be, plus minus 10 pounds of however tall you are in centimeters, if you're a guy. Now that we got this out of the way, this is basically the stack of stuff I've been taking every single day for the past, like 6 or 7 years to get to where I am right now. So starting off, we have protein powder here. So this is the best brand that I've found, the Optimum Nutrition Whey Isolate Protein. And I think the Extreme Milk Chocolate is the best flavor. It just tastes like a chocolate smoothie. Now I've tried a lot of different protein powders and the flavor is really hit or miss with a lot of them. This one, like all of them, has a bit of that artificial sweetener, which is not ideal, which is why you want to supplement with it. It's not your main meal. You're not taking 10 scoops of it a day to replace all the food you should be taking. I just recommend take 2 to 3 scoops a day is ideal for this. This way you're staying under the limit of the heavy metals that are in all of these, but still getting the benefit of the protein. Because let's say you're 183 centimeters tall. That means you need roughly 183 grams of protein per body weight, assuming you're about 183 pounds as well, which would be the equivalent to just eating 590 grams of chicken breast a day, which no one is doing, right? This is about 3 to 5 pieces of chicken breast a day. Now, maybe you can do this one day, but you do not want to do this every day. I promise you, you'll eventually hate chicken and your life will suck. And if you are doing it, more power to you, honestly. But for the rest of us, 1 scoop of this is basically the equivalent to 1 chicken breast worth of protein. So very important to be supplementing with protein powder every day because it's just the fundamentals, right? You need to hit your protein to induce the muscle growth for your body to give it the maximum benefits and to make sure you're really, it's essential to hit this because with the resistance training, with the weightlifting, you're essentially breaking down the muscle fibers and hitting this amount of protein is going to be optimal to trigger the maximum amount of muscle protein synthesis because the protein powder is full of the amino acids that your body needs to build the muscle, which is what's going to help to repair the tissue and to grow and make you bigger and stronger. And it will help you recover better. And just like I talked about in my calorie video, the more protein you're eating, the less hungry you're going to be. Protein has a higher thermodynamic effect, which means it's going to keep you fuller for longer, and your body is going to burn more calories digesting it, which means it's also going to help you lose weight as a side effect. Next, we have the collagen. This is the next supplement you're going to want to take. So pretty much for all of these, I just put it in a smoothie before or after my workout. I mean, I'll get into that a little bit later, but collagen is really important. This is also just 10 grams of protein, 11 grams in 1 scoop. But for the collagen, the main reason we're taking it is for our cartilage and joint health. So it will strengthen the connective tissue, such as tendons, ligaments, all that good stuff, which is going to allow you to lift heavier and recover faster. And to get the physique you want, it's going to be a multiplier of your body weight and how much you can lift relative to that. So as I talked about in another video, your muscles grow faster than your tendons, ligaments, cartilage, and bones, and all that good stuff. Which means we want to be aiding and supporting the recovery of that so we don't get injured and tweak something. Because for most natural lifters, you're not going to pull a muscle. You're more likely to tweak something like a tendon or a ligament working out very heavy. Because usually what happens is they fall behind in the recovery when you're gaining a lot of muscle. And then either your shoulder, your knee, your ankle, something like this gives out while you're lifting or just exercising. And the collagen is going to help prevent that. Think about it as just strengthening the connective tissue. It's like the glue that's going to help hold you together and keep you strong. I've got injured many times, especially my rotator cuff, but the collagen's really helped with the recovery and it helps me to not get injured as well as warming up and doing a little bit of prehab for these exercises before I hit my main lifts. And what is prehab for me? Well, that's just basically doing weighted exercises for these muscles. Just stretching alone is not going to strengthen them. You need to train everything with resistance training, which that's a whole topic for another video, but I don't know why people think you can just stretch without any weight and it's going to do anything and it's going to give you the results you want if you're lifting a bunch of weight gain the muscle, but you think just stretching without any weight increase the strength for these movements if you're not actually adding any resistance. Not logical, but I digress. Collagen is also going to help you recover faster because it's also rich in other amino acids, and it's going to boost your ATP production, which is just going to give you more energy for your workouts, which is good. All right, next we have creatine. So this is very important as well for building muscle, but it is hit or miss for a lot of people for a purely muscle building perspective. So about 20 to 30% of the population is unaffected by creatine. It does nothing. It doesn't work for them. It doesn't actually help you build muscle if you're in that 20 to 30%. But the things you won't know unless you try it. But creatine helps boost athletic performance, help with your strength, and it also boosts your cognitive function. So if you're actually fighting or doing MMA, kickboxing, boxing, any of this, it's very good because essentially what creatine does is it just puts more water in the muscles and in your brain as a consequence of this. So it's very good for preventing CTE and for people to take as you're getting older, as it's going to help you retain a lot of your cognitive function in your later years, as well as get stronger with your lifts since you have more muscle in your water, because you have more water in your muscles, which will help you lift more. So creatine also provides a significant boost to your ATP, which same thing is going to give you more energy and help you be more explosive. And like I was saying, it basically just draws water into the cells, giving you a more fuller look and aiding in things like hydration and nutrient signaling, as well as helping you recover faster. Okay, and the next one I recommend is glycine. This is a non-essential amino acid that helps promote muscle growth as well and protein synthesis, and also will enhance your natural GH secretion, so increase your growth hormone production. It'll also help lower your core temperature to help you get better sleep. It's a good side effect of this too. And these are all natural amino acids that you're basically just finding in food. I forgot to mention for the creatine, my theory of why it doesn't work for a lot of people is if you're already eating enough beef, enough steak, chicken, just different meats, you're already getting enough creatine from the natural foods that you're eating. Supplementing with it, you don't see any of the additional effects because you already have enough of it. That's my theory. I haven't really looked into it too much, but checks out to me. Or you're just a non-responder, but who knows. You guys can let me know down in the comments what you think. So as we know, recovery is a big part of getting bigger, getting stronger. Glycine is going to help with this, and glycine is going to act very similar to collagen since it makes up 33% of it. It's going to help with your joints, your tendons, and cartilage, and all that good stuff. It's also one of the 3 main amino acids that your body uses to synthesize protein, which is going to directly boost your power output and increase the water your cells are getting, help you be stronger. It also is an amino acid that helps produce one of the main antioxidants your body creates to decrease stress or to decrease inflammation in your body, which is obviously very good. We don't want inflammation. I think it's glutathione, if I recall. It's basically like the body's master antioxidant, similar to eating like blueberries or something like this to decrease your inflammation, which can help with your recovery and your cell regeneration. And last, we have a bonus one for you, maca powder. So this is what the Spartan warriors would take. They would eat the maca root before going into battle. So it basically just boosts your testosterone, which is going to help you build more muscle as a byproduct. My friend actually got this in Peru, and I mean, look, I don't know if you can see it, but has some people building muscle on it, so must work, right? So really, it's going to help increase your energy a lot, boost your stamina, and help with your hormones, mainly your testosterone. It's basically like nature's multivitamin. It just has a bunch of these things that you'd want, like vitamin B and C, calcium, iron, and potassium, which are going to help with all these other functions we've been mentioning for every other one. These are the main things your body wants to be able to perform well. So actually, in fact checking this, it was not the Spartan warriors who would take this before battle. It was the Incan warriors, which is basically like Colombia, Peru area, like top of South America, that would take this before battle. Apparently, it's a myth about the Spartan warriors, which not as cool, but still increases your testosterone, boosts your stamina, worthwhile, right? So with that being said, I just recommend taking all this in just a shake with water. So I do 2 to 3 scoops of protein powder, 1 scoop glycine, 1 scoop collagen, and then a tablespoon of maca powder, just with about 500, 600 milliliters of water. You're good to go. And I take this either before or after the gym to help with the protein muscle synthesis. Now this goes into the whole anabolic window. So maybe you heard about this. So it is a myth that you only have like 30 minutes before or after, but there are studies that show it does make sense. You do want to take protein and carbs before your workout and after your workout. These are going to be the most important times to take it because that's when your body needs it for energy to work out, and that's when your body needs it to help repair the tissue from the damage you've done during the workout. So obviously the closer you do it to the workout, the better for before and after. The farther away, you're getting a little bit more of that catabolic effect, which is just more breakdown. So the timeline is more 4 to 6 hours for after the workout rather than 30 minutes or an hour or whatever the anabolic window was before. So yeah, try it out. Bodybuilding, lifting weights, getting stronger, just do the fundamentals, right? That's what I advise for on this channel here. It's just doing the fundamentals, the things that work. Bruce Lee said, fear the man, who's practiced the same kick or the same attack 1,000 times, not the man who's practiced 1,000 different kicks. Because if you do the same thing over and over again, that's how you get really good results. So if you take 2 scoops of the protein, 1 scoop of the collagen, and the other stuff, it's about 60 grams of protein. If you take 3, it's about 85 grams of protein. So basically, if you're 183 pounds, it's about half to 1/3 of what you need for your daily protein intake, which helps a lot for hitting your goals. It's very, very hard, if not borderline impossible, to do without protein powder for a majority of people, unless you're loaded and you're just eating steak all day, but not the case for most people. So anyways, hope you enjoyed. Hope you found this informative. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. And remember, take consistent action on your main thing and don't stop. Peace.